Every student union is violating students' fundamental human rights. No, it's not because SJW feminists make students watch their disgusting vagina sex week campaigns. It's actually in Article 20 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The UN clearly says it. Number one, everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association, and equally, two, no one may be compelled to belong to an association. But that's what's happening. Look, I can't stand the UN, but they're actually right here. Every university semester, every student enrolled in a university everywhere in the world, with few exceptions, are having student union thugs steal their tuition money. This isn't just lunch money we're talking about. Some of the worst offending unions take hundreds of dollars a semester from students. Take a look at the University of Ottawa. Not only is the total more expensive than tuition for a university course over the course of your degree, this is charged twice a year, every semester. A student in Ottawa can expect to hand over thousands of dollars to collectivist programs and political activists throughout their degree. Let's look a little bit closer at the Student Federation in Ottawa. Their self-proclaimed issue is to agitate and foment protest on behalf of all fee-paying students, even those students that are diametrically opposed to the communist drivel that these unions preach. It doesn't matter what they think. If they want to go to university, they have to cough up cash to these communists. That's what's violating their human rights, making politically charged statements on behalf of someone with their money without their permission. It's atrocious. And that's not even half of it. Most of these student unions are members of mega student unions that pull political strings in government. You might say, well, Kean, students should be allowed to talk about student issues to government. Well, okay, but that's not what these lunatics are talking about. They can hardly be called student issues. Look at this. Student unions are running campaigns to let men who have sex with men donate blood. That's the farthest thing I can imagine from a student issue for university students. What does this have to do with a university exactly? How about this? They're fighting to keep international students in Canada, even after they have graduated. That's blatant social policy, and by definition, has nothing to do with students. Oh, and don't forget the First Nations. Somehow these unions, who are run by non-student adults, keep in mind, they found a way to spend student fees on the preservation of Indigenous language somehow. I don't understand why. The main argument supporting mandatory student unions is that, well, students have a choice to go to university in the first place. Well, that might be credible. That argument might have some credibility if there were some universities that didn't have a blood-sucking union in it. The way student unions waste money is just stunning. Frankly, if they were a self-funded organization, I wouldn't care, but these rackets are taking money from students who are already heavily indebted to spend on communist clubs and communist propaganda. What's worse is these quasi-government unions, which are given authority by the government. Each province in the country of Canada, by the Lieutenant Governor, gives these unions authority. They have zero accountability. For every other government body that uses tax dollars, you can file information requests and actually see where the government wastes your money, because you know what happens. Student unions are as opaque as they can get, and financial information is only given to a select few. The fight for student freedom isn't hopeless, though. In Australia, the Abolition for Compulsory Upfront Student Union Fees Act was passed, and the same thing in New Zealand. For over a decade, the act has made it illegal for student union thugs to bully already indebted students out of their lunch money. In Canada, the Federal Conservative Party, along with a couple provincial Conservative parties, including Jason Kenney's United Conservative Party, they support voluntary student unionism, but it's yet to be seen if any will legislate on the issue facing students once they form government. For the Rebel.media, this is Kean Bexty. If you think that student unions should be voluntary, make sure you reach out to your government representatives and tell them how important this is. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below what you think.